Athlete number 1390. She dares you to become one of them. To be more than just a number.
Number 293.
167.
1653.
A number. In this place, that's all you are.
It's your worst demon, and you'll want to quit in that long period of time, maybe 100, maybe 1,000 times. It is truly painful.
The physical pain is going to be there no matter what. It's going to hurt.
You expect it, you know it's going to hit you. You keep going with it in you.
No matter who you are, whether you're first or you're 1,000th, you're going to suffer out there.
You can usually think of at least 100 reasons why you should actually stop, but there is always one reason why you should keep going.
Athlete number 1390. Is that who you are? What's your reason?
$16.23.
Number 68.
Number 13.
240.
189.
She knows that they all only have one reason.
Once you cross that finish line, it can't be retracted. You did it, and you did it on your own.
We find out what we're really made of, how strong we really are. So when we do cross that finish line, we know more about ourselves.
It'll bring life back to you. From the moment you cross that finish line, you're reborn.
Which is good, because athlete number 1390, you almost died.
.4-mile swim.
112-mile bike.
26.2-mile run.
Racer number 182. 203.
49.
1452.
Number 78. Races 248.
Numbers have names. Names have souls. Souls can be broken. It happens here all the time.
Number 196.
Race number 45.
Number 18.
242.
Racer number 1.
And so she asks the ultimate question. Athlete number 1390. Is that all you are? Or are you more than that? This is the Ironman. The native Hawaiians believe there is an energy here on the Big Island that they're willing to share. For more than a quarter century, people like these have come here to use it and to feel it any way they can. It's a lifestyle commitment.
Fun out there. Don't get too much sun. Okay. See you a little later, okay?
They'll remember their number by heart and probably not wash it off tomorrow to remember some more. Peter Reed stands in line like everyone else. Last year, he won the Ironman, so this year he's back with the best number there is.
Racer number 1. The goal for me this year is to race. That's why I come. It's just to race my competitors And basically, first one to the line gets bragging rights.
He sequestered himself up on a volcano to prepare for this. American Tim DeBoom also knows what it's like to win the race and what it feels like to think you are dying from it.
Racer number 12. This race is a privilege to do because not everybody gets to do it. I mean, it's a very special event, and out of the world's population, there's a handful of people that have completed it, and even fewer that have won it. So the fact that I get to come back every year, and this is my 13th year, it's pretty special.
He wasn't saying that a year ago. In other triathlon distances, Simon Lessing is considered the world's best. This is not those other distances.
Number 13. The Hawaii Ironman is the most prestigious race in the world, and I think it's everybody's dream, every athlete, to compete in this event.
Natasha Bodman of Switzerland has won this race 4 times with a demeanor that doesn't always fit the pain. But don't let the smile fool you. She's paid the price. Bodman and Lori Bowden, both 37, have dominated this race for 6 years. They'll be watching each other closely, trying to make it 7.
Number 39. I have no pressure. I mean, I've won this race before, and if I don't win it, well, that's okay. I've accomplished more than most people will in this sport, so I'm good with anything if I go 100%.
Those are some of the people who think they can win today. Then there is Sarah Reinertsen. The odds have been against her doing this since birth.
I'm just proud of myself for getting here, for getting to the starting line, and no matter what, I'll get to that finish line. Racer number 187.
1,728 of them gather here at dawn, October 16th, 2004, Kona, Hawaii.
Rita, I know you can. We'll see you at the finish line.
Don't quit, please.
Okay. I promise you don't.
Recognize him? That's Ryan Sutter, the fireman who married Trista, the bachelorette. Now, he's made an additional long-term commitment. Then there's Tracy Richardson, whose 2 children, Cameron and McKenna, desperately need a cure. Her racing could help find one. Emotions? At least 1 million rip at her heart. Just before 7 a.m., it's a pilgrimage to the water. Fear. Anxiety. Even joy. It's all here. And anticipation. There's an ocean full of that as well. do what you can to prepare, to make sure you feel good on race day, to not get kicked in the face, to leave enough in you for the 138 miles that come after this. You do what you can, and then you'll still need a lot more. You are in Hawaii, and you are in the Ironman. The 2.4-mile swim of the Ironman Triathlon World Championship is well underway for the professionals, who've been given a 15-minute head start from the rest of the field. It makes it a lot harder to hide from the competition. The leader is Jan Siversen of Germany, and it feels like he does this every year, because he does. But he doesn't have the complete game of all three disciplines, like a 5-time triathlon world champion, Simon Lessing. Him moving up to the Ironman distance makes him a very hard-to-predict wild card. In perfect position is the 2-time Ironman champ, Tim de Boom. Last year at this moment, he would have said, "Kidney stones? What are you talking about?" A few hours later, he thought he was dying. Enjoy the moment. It's hard to miss the number 1 of defending champion Peter Reed in the froth with the rest of them. The leader of the women's race is Monica Kaplan from Boulder, Colorado, where they know how to grow triathletes. Nina Kraft from Germany has really pushed her training this year. At 37 years of age, you know your chances are running out. Her urgency actually puts her in front of Peter Reed. What does that pace mean to defending champion Laurie Bowden in the back of the pro pack that is getting all stretched out? The field has taken a weird zigzag route to the turnaround, following Jan Siversen, apparently set off course by a big swell. Still, it's clear water for the leader. Wait, either he's too fast or the lead kayak is too slow. The trailing rope is an entanglement he doesn't need. In the chase is Tim de Boom, a breakthrough American champion here in 2001, who won again the following year. That was then. Now he has learned to embrace a chance like this, a chance to not have it turn out like last year.
Tim de Boom, racer number 12.
When you're out there, it challenges you. It challenges you to think about who you are, why you do this. It's amazing what can go through your head, the doubts that creep in, and what you have to fight through just to keep going. Going into last year's race, I felt everything was on track. I, felt, as far as I could tell, was invincible. I didn't think anybody was going to even touch me.
Give me something for his feet. Stay awake. Stay awake. He's fading in and out on me. Wake up, baby. Tim, stay with me. Tim. I'm shutting the store.
Trained for a 2.4-mile swim, a 112-mile bike, and a marathon. And to not get to do it the next year and to fail at it, it does make me angry. I'm going in full force, fully trained, and, hopefully I'll go in with no doubts and just believe in everything that I've done and remember everything that I've put into it, and I don't expect anything to go wrong.
So far, nothing is going wrong, just like last year. Jan Siversen is the first to emerge from the Pacific and return to the pier in Kailua. 47.04. Even with a wrong turn, it's the 4th fastest swim of all time. This brings him to the frantic transition known as T1. Simon Lessing is next. So far, so good. Just 3 seconds behind Lessing of Great Britain is Germany's Faris al-Sultan. Tim de Boom is 40 seconds back. Jan Siversen is out and still alone. He should enjoy it while it lasts. Tim de Boom is calm and polite.
Thanks. Okay.
Peter Reed is 6 minutes behind the lead. More importantly, 2 behind de Boom. Impressively, Nina Kraft is only 5 seconds behind Reed and faster than a fellow German who hopes to challenge for the overall win, Norman Stadler. Then the 6-year dynasty appears. First, Laurie Bowden. Seconds later, Natasha Bodman. They're both in T1, but not for long. Out in the lava fields of the Big Island, things will get hot quickly. Jan Siversen has a 3-minute lead. But company is coming, and he knows it. The Big Island of Hawaii. Beautiful, but with a mean streak. "112 miles on the bike will teach you that." The harsh heat of the lava. The mystique of this place. You can feel them both. Jan Siversen is the leader of the Ironman, but that is not the German story. That's being written by Norman Stadler, who, true to his country's tradition, is flying. 30 miles in, he begins reeling them in. Tim de Boom is 90 seconds back of the lead. One moment, he is looking behind to see who's there. The next, Stadler makes his pace look ridiculous. Stadler does not look finished. As Luke Bell, a top 5 Ironman finisher a year before, finds out. For Jan Siversen, it was nice while it lasted. Norman Stadler moves on by. Siversen looks like he's checking for rocket boosters. This is Stadler's strength. And in terms of the Ironman's history, it's deja vu. A win-it-on-the-bike strategy that never works. Moving into second would be another German, Faris al-Sultan. There are Germans everywhere. One of the Brits, Simon Lessing, in relation to, say, Tim DeBoom. Let's just say Lessing is getting an Ironman lesson. Then there's three-time champion Peter Reid of Canada. If there's one thing he's learned, it's let the Germans have their fun, and we'll see them in the marathon. Right now, he's in grind-em-out mode. 3 minutes back. Back in town, the bachelorette husband, Ryan Sutter, hits the transition, with Trista recording it all.
Okay, baby, come on, come on, come on, come on. Good job, Ryan!
I'm totally shaking.
The female version of Norman Stadler is Nina Kraft. Aerodynamic, efficient, powerful, and fast. How fast? Natasha Bodman is 10 minutes, 30 seconds behind. Still, she's making progress, catching up to the fastest swimmer, Monica Kaplan. You can say Bodman, and you would be right. Or you could say she's bad, man. Bad as in good. Natasha encounters Belinda Granger, pulled over for drafting. That means a 4-minute penalty later. And Granger knows that means Natasha might as well be 2 miles ahead. The other players are Kate Major, 2.5 minutes behind Natasha. She's a 26-year-old Aussie in her second Ironman. And then 30 seconds further back, 1997 champion Heather Fuhr. 7 years removed. Is she still a player? Not far behind that action is veteran Laurie Bowden, fading fast. Reports are she was stung by a bee. This Ironman is moving on without her. And now, the winds are kicking up.
Sand and sunshine on the bright Lagoa shore.
Making the transition from swim to bike is New Zealand's Tracy Richardson, 40 years old, mother of 4. 2 of her kids are rooting her on, Cameron and McKenna. Tracy is running here to raise money in a battle against time to try and save their lives. In the women's race, Nina Kraft is blowing away the field. Building up a 10-minute lead, she's bringing to mind the old adage, you can't win this race on the bike. How is she doing it? The winds have whipped up where they often don't, on the long barren stretch of the Queen K Highway. It's debilitating to some, but she seems to have some aerodynamic secret. She does have one issue, a red slash through her number, meaning a 4-minute penalty for drafting, will be served before the marathon. Many have been penalized just like her. It's a theme of the race right now. It's a wonder now. Can the great champion Natasha Bodman muster a response to the charging German? She's not gaining time. In fact, she's losing it. It doesn't dampen her mood as she flashes the Hawaii hello. This place is in her blood. Germans are having an outstanding day. Kraft in the women's race and Norman Stadler in the men's. He's created a 3-minute 45-second cushion for himself, easily erasing the deficit after the swim. The question now becomes what it's been forever. How big of a lead is big enough to survive what will come in the marathon? The chase from Peter Reed. The Canadian is still strong and up out of the saddle to pursue. He's 4 minutes 40 behind the lead, but making a move through some key players. Tim DeBoom knows this determined image of Peter Reed. He has seen it for years. DeBoom is powerless to go with Reed, and in a blink, Reed is yards ahead, picking off the competition one at a time. Reed camped out in the volcanoes at 6,000 feet here on the Big Island to clear his head and win this race again. Simon Lessing didn't do that. Reed had no running water or electricity at that camp. It was real rugged, rocky, pounding meat in the freezer kind of stuff. Plus, he enlisted race legend Mark Allen as a coach. Basically, he pulled out all the stops for this day. Way behind all that race leader stuff going on, there is a huge pack of riders 20 miles into the 112. In there is Ryan Sutter, fireman, Vail, Colorado. Famous face from the early stages of reality TV. How's it going, Ryan?
Athlete 178.
Ryan from The Bachelor, good shape, fireman.
Yeah, he's hot. He was probably the sexiest guy I ever saw. Nice eyes, nice abs. He had the whole package.
We were loving the poetry, everything about him, how sensitive he is. There's not a lot of guys like that. Trista's lucky.
I mean, they really look like they're in love with each other whenever you see them two together. To be more than sensitive.
Trisha got very lucky. Trisha got very lucky with a guy who is a firefighter, has an unbelievable body, knows how to cook.
Your boyfriend don't write poems? No. Oh, my boyfriend writes unbelievable poetry.
Yeah, right.
No, really, he does. Very sensitive. And you got to see his abs.
I was at the point in my life where I was ready to get married if I found the right person. And, never in my wildest dreams did I think it was going to happen on television in front of millions of people. But I think it's just one of those things you can't necessarily control in your life. And when the right person comes along, however they come along, I'm not going to let them pass by me.
Access. Trista and Ryan are about to see it all the way through in a 3-part series that starts tonight. Cheers to them.
December 6th, that was the date. This is rehearsal dinner. Her dress. My beautiful wife. Yeah, I did take a lot of criticism for being on The Bachelorette and for, writing poetry. The sensitive one, I think, was my sort of label on the show. And whatever, I'm the one with the girl, I was the last one at the end of the show, and it worked.
Go, baby! You're doing awesome! I love you.
My goal here is to get lots of sun and just to enjoy the environment and the beach and, just relaxing and not having anything to worry about. The longest swim I've ever done, I swam when I was little, but I probably haven't done a long distance swim since I was probably 12 years old.
You got enough water and everything? I love you.
The longest run, you know, maybe a few miles would be my longest run, but nowhere near a marathon. Oh, actually, I did do a 5K in New York, so that would be my longest run, I think.
I know that they have to swim in the water.
2.4-mile swim.
They have to bike.
112-mile bike ride.
And they have to run.
Then a marathon.
In order to win that, you have to be very fit. You have to eat a lot of good protein and all those things that they do. A lot of people train hard. It's a lot of training. I think you can do it. I think you can do it. Definitely.
Good luck, Ryan, you Iron Man. Yeah, Ryan.
I'm pretty sure I can make it to the finish line. Whether it takes me, you know, all 17 hours, it doesn't matter for me. This is a race, yet on one hand, but on the other hand, it's just a matter of getting there for me. And if I reach the finish line, I'll be the happiest guy at that event, I'd imagine.
We got one. That wasn't fair.
Oh, I've got a nice, I'll just give this to somebody else. Water! Since it's all over me. Bananas?
No one is sure when it started. The taking of bleached coral from the sea up to the lava fields. To spell out a word or an image to inspire. The windy, hot conditions are taking their toll in a big way. Two-time champion Luc van Lierde and Simon Lessing have pulled out after they had been passed by Nina Kraft. Passed by Nina Kraft. Did you learn anything about the Ironman that you didn't expect?
No. I mean, you know, realistically, it's a tough race, and, you know, it's... You know, what can you say? You have good days, you have bad days, and, you know, obviously I need to correct this, but, you know, I think it's just frustrating.
Simon Lessing, world champion at the Olympic distance. Here, he was just number 13.
Stay put, stay put. Did you fall or somebody hit you?
You gotta do it. If you're gonna do it, you gotta do it now.
Where am I? Mile what?
16.
See, I mean,
It's okay.
It's all right.
In one moment, everything can change. There was a time when Dick and Ricky Hoyt, father and son, finished the Ironman together. Something Ricky could never do alone. This time, the wind is too tough, and the Hoyts will drop out after saying this is their last try. The Hoyts, never to be forgotten. Number 187, Sarah Reinertsen, who has done more than her share of inspiring others for a long time now. She's 20 miles into the bike ride and in a good rhythm, a rhythm many thought she would never physically be able to find.
Sarah Reinertson, racer number 187.
Nina, right here. Nina.
When I was 6 years old, my parents signed me up to be in the town soccer league. All the kids in my neighborhood did soccer, so I wanted to try it too. I remember going to practices and being part of the team, but when it came to some of the practices and the drills, the coach wouldn't include me. All the kids would play a scrimmage or do drills on the main field, and he would give me a soccer ball, and he'd make me go kick the ball against the side of the wall by myself. I was born with a tissue disorder known as proximal femoral focal deficiency, which basically in English means that I didn't have the tissues in my left limb to stimulate the right growth. So when I was born, my left leg was extremely shorter than my right leg. For the first part of my years, I grew up with a leg brace to kind of even the heights of my legs out so that I could kind of walk around. I kind of hobbled and would swing my leg out to the side. When I was 7 years old, I had my left leg amputated above the knee. My parents always treated me like any other kid. And when I fell, my mom didn't always rush up to me to pick me up. Sarah's gonna pick herself up. It was a really important lesson for me to learn then. 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile bike, 26.2 mile run. If I finish, I'll be the first woman on an artificial leg to do the Ironman. No woman's done it, not an above the knee amputee, not a below the knee amputee. No woman's done the race or even attempted the challenge.
And you guys, 34?
One thing that I think I learned as a kid, and it's still true today, is that for me to keep up, I've always had to be tougher than the rest. And that's still the truth.
There is an audience of millions watching this, and you really hope it includes one soccer coach from way back when. This is the one and only Ironman Triathlon World Championship. 1,700 people revealing themselves in the most human of terms. The lava fields and grass that has somehow found a way to grow. That's all you see for miles. It can bore you to the point where you lose focus. Not Norman Stadler. His job one, crush everybody.
Norman Stadler, number 4. It's my favorite race. I like all the other Ironmans too, but Hawaii is special. It's my main goal to win this race one day.
Mile 90, 22 to go until the marathon. And Norman Stadler's lead is 10 minutes and growing. It seems like he is driven to prove that this race is winnable on the bike. Not many believe that yet. There is too much German evidence to the contrary. The reason? Guys like this. 3-time champion Peter Reed. His marathon speed has forced who knows how many to use up too much of themselves trying to do exactly what Stadler is doing. He has to draw confidence from history.
The day at Ironman is what I think about 365 days a year. I prepare entirely for this one day.
Peter Reed, the defending champion. Tim DeBoom has been able to say that twice in his life. Then came last year, exit by ambulance.
There's no doubts, there's no fears about what happened last year. I'm really confident in my abilities to have a good race, and when it comes down to it, that's my main goal, is to have a good race.
And he is having a good race, running right behind Peter Reed. But Tim DeBoom's marathon won't start right away. A red slash means he was drafting, and a 4-minute penalty. Also emerging to become part of the big picture is another German, a 26-year-old.
Fahrer al-Sultan, Nummer 7. I respect this island and I love this island. I like to come here. For me, it's not important to be the first German. I just want to have a good race.
Al-Sultan is definitely a factor in the race, but he can't see the lead. That's Norman Stadler's lead, over 10 minutes now, heading toward 11. In the women's race, more German headlines. Nina Kraft looks like she is headed toward a double-digit lead when the bike leg is done. Her pace has actually passed some of the contenders in the men's race. Legend Mark Allen says he has never seen that before. Who is Nina's competition? Well, no one if she keeps going like this. But if she cracks just a little bit, there is one woman who busts open those doors. Switzerland's Natascha Badmann, who always manages to find a way to smile for 140 miles and has used that demeanor to win this world championship 4 times.
Natascha Badmann, number 41. My goal this year is to gonna do a perfect race. I'm really looking forward and I'm happy to be here.
Staying in the game on the bike, making a big debilitating run in the marathon. That's her game, and the one that traditionally wins here. Kate Major, a 26-year-old Aussie. At the Lake Placid Ironman, she led the women's race by 30 minutes. Explosiveness like that has to be respected by all. Major looking to the future as she passes a glimpse of the past. 1995 Ironman winner Karen Smyers. Now a 43-year-old sage. Karen might add, this is not Lake Placid, kid. The lead is starting to get away from Heather Fuhr. It's just too early to count anybody who has Ironman patience out of things. And Heather has Ironman patience.
Heather Fuhr, number 45. It took me 7 years to win the first one. Maybe it will take another 7 to win the second one. So basically, I want to have the best race that I can, and if that's first place, that's amazing.
Heather's deficit from first place, 12 minutes. An unorganized chase is not gaining ground on Norman Stadler, cruising to the marathon, where big German leads always die. Promotional consideration provided by the King Kamehameha Hotel. History lessons. In 2000, Norman Stadler was the leader after the bike in the Ironman. But Norman Stadler wasn't the leader at the end of the race. 2 years later, Stadler was reduced to a painful walk. He had nothing left. Then in 2003, history repeats as Stadler roars to the lead, only to see Peter Reed on a Leahy drive. Is he doomed to repeat history? Because with the 6th fastest bike ride ever, Norman Stadler is doing it again. His lead, 11 minutes. Spirits seem good, but it's hard not to watch him looking for a first sign of weakness. His bike is all alone in T2. Stadler heads out, wondering who the first challenger might be that he sees on the horizon. But there's no one there.
is coming at us now, people. Here we go.
Now the game changes. Stadler is not dealing with a strength here. Tim DeBoom is capable of running faster than him. You start doing the math. Peter Reed, too. Many minutes faster than Stadler. It keeps him going. Nina Kraft has finished second and third twice. That hurts and motivates. Natasha Bodman, experienced as it gets, and seems fine with the way things are going. Stadler runs alone on a Lee drive. So far, he shows no weakness on the run. But so far, there is nothing to compare him to. The first man after Stadler to arrive at the run transition sends everybody scrambling for their programs. Torbjorn Sindball of Denmark, number 134. 1 minute later, another German, Alex Taubert. Sindball hits the road. Taubert presses to join him. Faris al-Sultan, fourth place. New blood in the marathon. Men who could redefine themselves here in Kona. Stadler has to be thinking about the past champions. Like Tim DeBoom, who finally arrives on the scene with others, but he and they are over 20 minutes behind. Al-Sultan tries to get in rhythm in his early strides. 20 seconds after Tim DeBoom, Peter Reed shows up, running toward the transition where Tim DeBoom chews on his drafting penalty that costs him 4 minutes. Stadler's muscles and cadence look strong. No sign of cracks. As the legendary stalking by Peter Reed begins. DeBoom gets out of the box, but that penalty is devastating. Now everyone who can challenge him is out on the Hawaiian streets. Question is, did Reed and DeBoom let Norman Stadler get too far in front? The mystique of the Ironman. Luke Bell was drawn to it. Now, crushed by it. A year ago, he was 5th.
You okay?
Now, just a number.
Legs up a little higher, please.
Nothing is guaranteed for anyone. But it won't be long before he says, I'll be back next year. The women's race leader arrives at the bike to run transition, and after 114 miles, almost prances toward what awaits her. A 4-minute penalty for drafting. The update on Norman Stadler is easy. Nobody in sight. Nothing to worry about, except history. Stadler certainly looks a lot better than the man now in second place, another German, Alex Taubert. and better than Faris al-Sultan, another German. Hey, forget training at altitude. Everybody to the Hofbrauhaus. Torbjorn Sindball of Denmark has fallen to fourth and really seems laboring under the very hot Hawaiian sun. The pace of Peter Reed is strong and purposeful. On this stretch of a short out and back on Ali'i Drive, he knows he will finally get a peek at Stadler and what the situation is. That happens now, and Stadler makes an impression in Peter Reed's mind. What might that be?
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Nina Kraft exits the penalty box. The fact that she still has a big lead doesn't slow her pace at all. Tim DeBoom is out on that same let's see what the competition is doing stretch of Ali'i Drive. That competition? Peter Reed. And since Tim knows these roads like he lives here, he knows that he's made an already difficult comeback that much harder with the penalty. So the Ironman remains a German story. Stadler here, Nina Kraft there, all sunblocked, hydrated, and still in the lead. And waiting for her competition, which looks to be Natasha Bodman, bothered by nothing. Cap pulled down low. Nina Kraft may be thinking about the heat. Maybe also thinking about Natasha. In the aid station, Kraft grabs everything she can get a hold of to cool down. Kate Major is in the final miles, and so is Heather Fuhr. But the deficits they will be facing in the marathon are monumental. For example, Natasha Bodman arrives at the transition in second place, 12 minutes back. And that deficit is growing. Bodman is away and looks fresh as ever. Kate Major soon follows. Bodman is reaching that same critical point of the marathon course, the early turnaround, where you get a look at the one you're chasing, gauge their look, and the time you're behind. Bodman now knows we're talking miles behind. Heather Fuhr is 12 more minutes behind Natasha. She's faster than just about anyone out here, but at some point reality has to kick in. So it comes down to this. In the Ironman, where they have always said you can't win this race on the bike, could it happen not once, but twice, and in the same day? Train all year for this day, and there is still so much beyond your control, as number 1390 is finding out.
Yeah, so you gotta ride it. That's not safe to ride it. Walk it like that. Cool? I'm taking a chance. Are you playing?
Chris, they said you can walk the bike. I'm walking it. Just leave it that way. We'll just. That's it. It's on my shoulder and I'm walking it in.
Take your time, man. You still got time. You got plenty of time.
It was a motorcycle that hit Chris Sadowski.
Okay? All right, right on, bro.
All right.
Glory does not come easily here. She doesn't care how you wanted it to be. Chris, she dares you now to walk the final 7 miles, socks on your feet and the asphalt burning hot. Then the Ironman demands a marathon on those very same feet. This is your path. They've given you your number. Ryan Sutter, the Bachelorette's husband, out on his own to be more than that, to be an Ironman too. Looking good, without any small talk, at mile 85. Tracy Richardson, mile 65, riding as hard as a mom can for her 2 kids. Money raised, research to be done, awareness achieved, hope. This is what she can do now. Sarah Reinertsen. She doesn't cry when she talks about the day her leg was amputated. But she does when she tells about the soccer coach who used to make her practice alone. Want to get her going? Tell her she can't do something like this. Chris Sadowski still trying to be more than just number 1390. He has taken on his misfortune head on so that he can be an Ironman. People are cheering now. Kona is famous for that. Nina Kraft is the first woman they see. That's all many of them know. Many others know they have never seen her win here before. One other thing, they won't see another woman for 12 minutes. This is the woman they know, Natasha Bodman. But Natasha is not gaining her usual ground. Her textbook charge hasn't come. The one history says she will make. She is not making, yet. Bodman has said she learned far more the years she did not win than the ones she did. Heather Fuhr hasn't won in 7 years and has done a lot of learning. One thing she has learned is how to use her speed. Like she is here. She is gaining fast on those in front of her. That is the number given to Norman Stadler, because that is where he finished last year. Been there, done that. He's been told this can't be done. The Germans are haunted by it. How you spend everything on the bike and then don't have enough gas left to run. He's also haunted, or is it inspired, by what has happened to him in the past with the man who is back there again. Norman wants that number. The 3-time champion Peter Reed spent so much of the bike in a pack that seemed unable to create any urgency. But he has always been willing to pay the price here and play out this strategy, save some for the run. There is no way Norman Stadler knows what is happening behind him. If he did, he would view it as bad news. Reed hauls in Torbjorn Sindball of Denmark. He is gaining fast. Next up is Alex Taubert of Germany. Is it a question of them falling or Reed continuing to gain? Actually, it's both. Faris al-Sultan may have even imagined what it would be like to finish second in the Ironman. He feels Reed's presence as well. The leader, Stadler, is covering the same miles where he and his countrymen have melted over the years. Doesn't look that way this time. He is all alone. Get a lot of attention when you are the leader of the Ironman. Especially when you're the only thing in sight.
Norman Stadler, number 4.
He had a solid swim, but Norman Stadler clinched his first ever Ironman triathlon on the bike with a scorching ride. As a result, next year, he gets a new number. He's won the way they said you could not, and now lets the noise of the Le'i drive wash over him. How do you celebrate something like this? You can try and slow it down and make it last. Think of the thousands of miles you trained when no one was watching, and how you get to have your greatest day when it feels like the whole world is. Or maybe splurge. Looks like it might be strawberry. In the final miles of the women's race, Nina Kraft seems poised to create a German sweep. There's no reason to expect anything like a major collapse, even though it has happened to others poised to win. So, Natasha Bodman keeps going, and she reaches the final turnaround in the race. Here, she can really see what she's up against. When she sees Nina, she knows. Kraft is about 2 miles ahead of her. That is a ridiculous advantage. Still double digits of time. You'd never know it from looking at Natasha's face. It's all real now for Norman Stadler, whisked to the finish by the cheers of thousands. He's changed the way triathletes can think about this race. The 2004 Ironman World Champion at the pier, where it all began 140 miles ago.
I trained 16 years for this race to win, and I thought I can win this race, and now it happened. And I have to thank so much my father. He brought me into the athletic and into the triathlon, and it's the biggest dream. It's like winning the Tour de France or winning Wimbledon. It's the same in triathlon. It's the Ironman Hawaii.
Moments later, Norman phones his dad back in Germany to thank him for giving him the gift that is so obviously cherished. Training up in the volcanoes may not have won Peter Reed this race, but had Reed told him why he does this? Faris al-Sultan completes the podium. This is when the finish line changes. It goes from being a place where world champions are crowned to becoming one where finishes are celebrated, achievement honored, and Ironmen born. Tim DeBoom may have wanted more out of this day, but he got back to Kona and back to the finish. And no one here takes that for granted. How badly do you want to be there, number 1390? Chris Sadowski, when you get to where the screaming is, walk on by and then run a marathon. Nina Kraft completes her day of dominance. Finally, after all the just misses at 35, the Ironman is hers. Natasha Bodman arrives on the scene and looks like the champion she is. Heather Fuhr ran her way to finish third. Does the football player who married the Bachelorette make it? The fireman from Vail, trying to raise funds for the Firemen's National Trust. Ryan Sutter, does he become an Ironman? We'll know in 26 miles. What about Tracy Richardson from New Zealand? 2 of her children have been forced to think about dying, and she wants to finish this to show them what's possible. And Sarah Reinertsen, climbing another mountain they said to forget about. On one leg, making it all the way to the finish. That is something she has had a vision of.
I don't know how I'm going to react when I get to that finish line. I think about it, and I want to cry, and I want to smile, and I think it's going to be such a combination of emotions when I cross that line.
She does have the same rules to follow like everyone else. Get to the run transition by 5:30, or your day is over, Sarah. It doesn't matter what your story is. Norman Stadler's first ever Ironman Triathlon World Championship was only the second ever by a German. His winning margin, 10 minutes, 11 seconds, over a field that had 4 Germans in the top 7. Tim DeBoom was 11th. On the women's side, Nina Kraft of Germany had an even more dominant win of almost 17 minutes. On November 11th, a possible reason why, when she tested positive for the banned substance, EPO. She confessed, said she never really celebrated the win, and was immediately disqualified, now facing a 2-year suspension. Her acts prevented Natasha Bodman from celebrating what becomes now a 5th Ironman title. Heather Fuhr moves up to 2nd, and Kate Major of Australia, 3rd. Your greatest days and your worst all have sunsets. It started at 7 a.m. For some, it goes until midnight. Does Sarah Reinertsen get to have a moment like them? She's been breaking disabled barriers her entire life, but there's a limit here. Finish this 112 miles by 5:30 or it's no dream come true. Chris Sadowski has the same time limit as Sarah. When his bike was mangled in that crash with the motorcycle, they said, "You have plenty of time." Fact is, now he does not. Tracy Richardson made it in time to get the honor of running the marathon. But not before stopping to see her family, which includes 2 of her kids. They watched Mommy get very depressed, then lose 50 pounds and decide to do this. What would make a mom do that?
Racer 167.
Jump in it, Kim. What's Cameron?
They're my magnet. They're the reason I'm here. They're the reason I'm doing this. And they're the reason I'll get to that finish line.
If you were to go and take a straw and just breathe through that 24/7, that's what it feels like for us.
Bigger one.
Can you see the doctor there?
Oh no. Put your arm up here, darling, and do it big.
Please let me out.
Okay, do big cough, please.
My children were born with cystic fibrosis. They're now 13 years of age and 12 years of age. With cystic fibrosis, there's no cure. You're born with it and you die from it. There's no predetermined script for it. And in my children, unfortunately, they have a severe form of the condition, and right now they have advanced lung disease. I don't know how much time I have left with them.
Oh, what did you do? Can you show me?
In 2002, I came to a path where I had to choose whether I was going to continue having the same life that I'd always had and really struggle emotionally with children that were going to die one day, or whether I would try and change my life and make a difference to not only my own quality of life, but hopefully to my children as well.
Tracy could have sulked her life away. But what good would that do? As a mom, she decided to do something that would tell her children that she loved them. With every step, every stroke, and every push of the pedal.
I think it's cool because she's raising funds for Cameron and I and lots of other people. It's really cool and she enjoys it, so that's what matters.
When I come down that finishing chute, my kids will be there. And it will just mean everything to them and to me. There's no greater accomplishment I've done in my life than to get here and to bring them with me on this journey.
Tracy, 26 miles and 385 yards to go. May a powerful wind of hope be at your back, and may you feel what you want to feel at the finish. On soles that must be seared and blistered from the heat, Chris Sadowski is running. Perhaps he looked at his watch and saw that it's almost 5:30. He arrives at the transition, just minutes to spare. He carried that bike for 7 miles. Can you imagine how many hundreds out there who passed Chris were inspired by what they saw? Now, this is for him, a marathon, so that he can say he's an Ironman. In the golden glow on the Queen K Highway, Ryan Sutter is well into the miles of his run. He would agree, this is reality TV. And so is this. Sarah Reinertsen arriving at the transition to be told she is 15 minutes too late, that her race is over, and that she can't be an Ironman today. Now the races within the race of the Ironman Triathlon World Championship. To the 10 winners among the women's age groupers, congratulations. The men have 12 divisions, going up to the age of 79, and the group won by Bob Southwell from Australia. Again, to all of you, congratulations. You inspire us all.
Athlete, racer number 1659.
Racer number
240.
1352.
241. 1257. 289.
52.
Number 196.
The entire day they present themselves as numbers, beaten down into the world of no identity in the Ironman. The one where they are just that, a number, exposed to the randomness of calamity, finding limits, and ultimately the truth about themselves. But that salvation only comes from one place.
Athlete 178.
Ryan Sutter knows what it's like to be a television star. Today he was just number 178 until he gets to the line to become one of them. Numbers is how they all start. Shoulder to shoulder, dreams in a row. But when they finish, the numbers are forgotten with their new identity.
Racer 167.
Moms have a knack of knowing what to do. Some have a knack of knowing what they have to do. Tracy Richardson is on her way. Had things not gotten scary, Chris Sadowski would have been just another number hoping to get there. Then in that blink, he was laying in the road with a different course that he had nothing to do with. That's where number 1390 took a low and reached high, the way an Ironman would. Ryan Sutter is so close he can almost feel the unity that bonds Ironmen forever. That they swam and they biked and they ran the same miles. It's an echoing mantra that gets them there, to the finish.
We go through so much pain, so much agony, so much self-doubt. Yet, when you cross that finish line, that white line in the road, you feel like you can do anything.
It's really just a huge relief because you really have been just keeping so many pains at bay for so long.
At the time you think, oh, what am I doing this for? I'll never be back again. The pain is so excruciating in my legs.
Everyone who did an Ironman and who did the first stroke of the swim and all the pedal turns on the bike and every step by himself, he knows exactly what it means to reach finish line.
Just teaches you how strong you can be mentally, not just physically.
It tells me the most about who I am, and it allows me to overcome the more difficult obstacles in life.
I just know that if I just keep on keeping on, I'm going to finish this thing. When you're done, it's like a week later you want to do it again.
Tracy Richardson is running with a sense of urgency, like a mom who knows her kids are waiting for her. Ryan Sutter, you are one of them.
Ironman.
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 Cameron and McKenna are less than a mile away, waiting for a mom and a finish they will never forget. Now the clock nears midnight, and Chris, you've got to get going. Missing that deadline means the entire day and everything you've done will have been for nothing. Make those torn up elbows and aching legs pay off. Be more than 1390.
Ironman. Ironman.
Ironman.
Ironman.
Ironman.
Ironman.
Tracy Richardson, this is how you dream to finish, with Cameron and McKenna right by your side. Hit by a motorcycle, humbled to a walk, somehow being more than 1390 has summoned a run from Chris Sadowski, so close to being one of them. Chris, there is no question. You are one of them.
Watch me pick it up for the last time. It's only 13 pounds.